are you? It's Phil Hulett and Friends. I'm Phil. Glad you tuned in. This is the variety talk show that you love. We talk about just about everything, and you can thank me later because we do not talk about politics. I know you're sick and tired of hearing people talk politics. So this is your oasis of variety talk. And we have a room full of ladies today, co-hosts.
What's up?
Let's introduce them. She's the co-host of Breakfast with Gary and Kelly on KSBR 88.5 FM here in Southern California. Kelly Bennett.
Yay. Hello.
We have two sketch comedians, comedic writers, and each of them individually are half of the duo, the Kalo Sketch Show, Lauren Howard-Hayes.
Hey, guys.
And Katie Elsaesser.
Hello.
Photocopier salesman tried to sell me an Elsaesser 3500 the other day.
Had a lot of units on it, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. And all kinds of attachments,
And
marital
Swiss.
aids.
Marital aids. Like
All right, on the show today, we have a pretty good show, pretty good packed show. Manny, the movie guy, of course. If there ever was an important weekend to have our movie guy on, it is this weekend because not only is the new Pirates of the Caribbean movie out, but Baywatch is out.
All right.
Perhaps the worst movie ever? I don't know. We'll see. A lot of people are bagging on the movie. We'll see what Manny has to say about it. Jennifer Emmett is one of the top editors over at Nat Geo Kids, and the Nat Geo Kids Almanac 2018 is out, and she talks about all the stuff to put in your kid's brain during the summer so that it doesn't turn to mush. Gary, our travel dude, is going to talk about the kind of artificial start of summer, which is Memorial Day weekend, which is this weekend. Summer doesn't start for another couple of weeks, but everybody kind of
It's a kickoff.
It's a kickoff. So he's got some great Memorial Day weekend ideas and where to go this summer. And then we have the executive producer. Speaking of Nat Geo, they have this show. I don't know if you've seen it. It's 2 weeks in. It's a 6-week documentary series called Year Million. It's about all the stuff that's happening in the future, distant future and not so distant future. Ooh. And it's a pretty cool show about robots and artificial intelligence and what your cell phone can do and, what body parts you can shove it into. You know what I mean? All these things that Nat Geo likes to do. And then there'll be gratuitous nude shots of indigenous peoples throughout the show. That's what
lovely.
Nat Geo is most known for.
And that's why people will be tuning in.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. So we'll talk to him. Yes. All right, we get things started here on the program. I'm excited about the show today because I'm surrounded by ladies.
Woo!
Ladies' Day.
Yeah. So Kelly, let's start with you.
Oh, boy. Creepy clowns.
Yeah, I see this. It's been like a couple of months since we've had a creepy clown story. And somebody must have said, let's get that creepy clown back in the news and do it with some verve.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. This is up in Northern California. Apparently, we've seen creepy clowns all over the place. But this one was literally thumbing, hitchhiking on the side of the street.
Folks still do that?
Yeah, but he was the one thing that kind of upset people was he was holding a bloody machete.
Oh, come now.
Oh.
Yeah, and a lot of people are like going, okay, do we stop? Do we not stop? Do you need a ride?
Yeah. Hey, what do you say? Let's, he's got to be kidding. I mean, come on. That's too obvious. A bloody machete?
Yeah.
What do you want to chance it? Let's pick him up. What do you say?
Exactly. But the police were called, Monterey County. And apparently he was a 61-year-old guy. He was holding out his thumb. He was
That's the creepy part. That's the creepy part.
He's 61 years old. I mean, what else you got to do on a Saturday afternoon?
It's a good
right?
retirement.
He was handcuffed, questioned, and released.
He was
released.
Why was he
back
really?
into the public.
So this is what I was like, what? And so I was reading this, and the police said that they didn't have a victim that was threatened by him with the machete.
Because it was obviously wasn't then real blood, was it?
Well, and they also added that the blood on the knife was just cotton with red dye, and so a machete is technically a tool.
The cotton. So he
made
worked,
it chunky.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my.
He
Yeah.
really.
All out. So a machete
does
is
have a
not a
lot of time.
weapon; it's a tool.
Oh sure.
Okay. And
dude's a tool.
so they couldn't arrest him, but they did. have a little psychiatric evaluation.
They better.
But he didn't meet the guidelines for commitment.
What does it take?
And he didn't meet the requirements for arrest, even for disturbing the peace.
What do you think the chances are? 61-year-old guy in like a part of California where nobody lives, and he's probably doesn't have an income, and he's down on his luck, and he says, I've got an idea. Let me go totally south and get picked up by the guys in white coats and taken away, and I'll have a roof over my head and a comfortable bed and all the drugs I need, and I could live out my life and not have to pay rent anymore, which I can't make because I'm on a fixed income. So this perhaps was his plan.
I don't know.
There
You
you
think?
go.
But they didn't take him in. They said this is what the police department, this is a quote. Right now, as far as we know, he was standing there looking at traffic.
And now he's at home saying, "Oh, cruel, cruel,
Cruel
world."
world.
He's
Maybe
a sad
he was
clown.
on his way to Comic-Con, like he was just trying to hitchhike all the way down to San Diego.
Well, the interesting part is the last sentence of this story. The police are also advising other clowns to stay away from the highway. All right, all you clowns out there, stay away from the highway.
Yeah. Hey, clowns, stay home. You mentioned Comic-Con. That's interesting because I just read a headline just moments ago. Hey, this is breaking news.
Breaking news.
I've been to Comic-Con a couple of times, and people show up in all these elaborate costumes, and they all look weaponized to one degree or another. They could be fantasy characters from another world or
Fantasy.
someplace,
They
and you
got
could
hammers and-
almost see their nether regions while they're walking around. But they have swords and laser guns and all sorts of things, and usually they look like cardboard painted silver with sparkles on them. But every now and then they look real, and they're guys with guns and giant,
Blasters.
the kind of guns that they would have in Guardians of the Galaxy, that kind of thing, walking around. So anyway, this headline, and this is the breaking news, is a man was just arrested at Comic-Con carrying real guns and real knives.
Real guns.
And I always wonder,
come down.
walking, it's so crowded in there, and everybody's bumping into each other and sloughing off their sparkles. And sloughing, is that
That would
the
be
beauty
me.
word? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like human loofah.
Sloughing.
Walking through there. And I always wonder, well, what if one of these guys just
It's scary.
decided it's too crowded in here. I'm
Oh,
going to, thin the herd a bit with this real
gosh.
knife that I have that everybody
Well,
thinks is a fake knife.
Don't you have to walk through a metal detector?
Is there a
Usually-
screening?
Usually,
no
like
screening?
at they usually. I know at least at WonderCon. I went to WonderCon and they had a couple of.
What happens when the robot guys show up?
They probably have to disassemble.
Transformers. The big old
the big
Transformers.
No, there's some really elaborate costumes.
They really are.
and
Yeah, they
have
take some time on that.
metal and all these different things that would set off the alarm.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, sir. You're going to have to take that costume off. No, I'm not
could you
wearing
imagine being
anything
the-
underneath.
You're compromising my art.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a total naked geek under here.
The real crime at
I'm
those.
so manly with my robot costume on.
The real crime at those is honestly the smell, and I just want to be I want to be a representative of a deodorant company and go there just dressed as a single deodorant and just hand them out, just little samples
Yeah.
because it can get a little stinky.
So there should be, at these conventions. We come up with ideas, inventions all the time on the show. At these conventions, they should have a thing where you put in your 50 cents or whatever it is, and you hold up your armpit, and it just gives you a
That's
little
a great idea.
a spritz of deodorant.
A nice little Febreze spray.
Yeah, right.
That's a good idea.
We are
I'd
giving
be
you
into
guys
that.
so many ideas out there for marketing.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Now, moving on. Kelly,
Yes.
sticking with you here, I after school classes, I teach little kids, third through sixth graders, public speaking, and it's a lot of fun. But the kids, they're very fidgety, and sometimes it's hard to get their attention, and sometimes you use techniques to get them to just quiet down and pay attention, and other times you want to make sure that you are properly patting them on the back, giving them the reward system that they need so they know they're succeeding and they feel proud of the achievement. And when these kids grow up, they're going to use what I teach them to be successful in life.
Right.
They're most likely to succeed kind of thing,
Right.
right? And teachers do this all the time, don't they?
They do that all the time. In fact, in high school, they have, most likely to succeed. Somebody, I remember in my high school, I was a runner-up for the most sexiest.
Ooh.
So, yeah, but
I
then
hope you have that
I-
on your resume.
Yeah, I know. So
Most
and-
talkative, best hair,
yeah,
best eyes, all those things.
Exactly,
Yeah.
those kind of things.
Shortest skirt. Did they have that?
Best lock. There was one for best locker.
Whoa.
Okay,
Oh,
so
that-
the
that's
organized,
fun.
just so the coolest locker.
Best decorated.
Exactly. Well, in Texas, there's a middle school principal. He's planning to launch an investigation after a 7th grade student was named most likely to become a terrorist.
No.
What?
And this was a mock award ceremony, though, actually. And the person in question, it was a 13-year-old student. They said that I was shocked. The teacher said most likely to become a terrorist, and then she said my name, and she gives me this. This is
What
the
is
quote.
the kid's name?
Yeah.
Well, I was Lizeth Villanueva.
Oh.
She's 13-year-old.
Is
I would
right.
like to
So,
know what the requirements were. Or
And anyway, they didn't name the teacher, but she thinks it was supposed to be funny.
Well, you know what?
And
These
she
are
didn't
older
say,
kids.
I don't think, 13 years old. I don't know.
the,
Not that older.
the younger kids, I will tell you, the kids these days, younger kids, they talk about blowing up stuff all the time. And they do. Now, if I were a
fireworks.
teacher and I
Really?
wasn't completely, altogether like this teacher is,
Yeah.
I perhaps wouldn't connect the dots between blowing up stuff and the fantasy of, everybody dies, which is what kids all talk about these days, and terrorism. I may not have made that connection with
Yeah.
smaller kids, but the older kids,
Yeah.
they could
Well-
very easily have a rap sheet by the time they're 14.
13 years of age. This is a very impressionable age.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And this person did not like it at all. In fact, they were just very upset about the whole thing.
You always remember the teacher that made the biggest impression
Right.
on you.
Oh, for
I
sure.
know.
Mr. Lance.
Okay. Calm
Mrs.
down.
Anderson, she's dead.
Okay.
How did that happen?
There should be an award system for the
principal,
teachers.
The principal did apologize, but you're talking about little kids like that. I mean, I never even thought about that until you said that, and I remember when my son was like 2 or 3 years old.
Yeah.
My husband would not let him have guns. Not in the house. I could not buy a gun in the
2
house.
or 3?
Well, kids want guns. Boys want guns.
Oh, toy guns.
Toy guns.
Okay.
Oh, I
Even
thought
a water
Toy
gun?
guns, like a water gun, or so. You know what he did? He took his graham crackers and he made them into guns.
Oh, he chewed 'em?
He chewed them.
It's a little pew pew.
See, that'll get you
graham cracker
suspended.
gun.
That'll get you suspended from school these days because they
Really?
have that zero tolerance
I was
about
like,
you.
it's a
Make it
graham
look like a gun?
cracker.
Yeah, because they've taken kids who make their hands in the
Into a
shape of a
finger.
gun, into their index finger pointed and their thumb straight up, and they've suspended kids because of that. Because
So
they-
that's not okay, but a teacher calling a kid most likely to be a terrorist is totally fine.
you can't suspend the teacher, can you?
I mean, most
she
likely
might
to be
get fired.
fired. That'd be a great award for
Yeah.
her.
He was
All
4
right.
years old. It's a graham
Yeah.
cracker.
All right.
That's really creative, actually.
That's a very creative
really
mind,
creative.
Yeah, poor guy. So I wonder what was in his lunchbox that day. Maybe he had,
crackers.
maybe he had a bad
Grape bombs.
He had a bad sandwich.
It's
in his,
possible.
Is it?
Yeah, it was possibly a tuna sandwich, which actually, you all cringed at the tuna. Well, you're really going to cringe at this moldy tuna sandwich. Now you can pay $30,000 for a moldy sandwich that looks like Mickey Mouse.
Oh my God, what a deal.
What a deal.
It's the happiest place.
Yeah. So there's an eBay seller selling a moldy sandwich for $30,000.
Wait a minute, Lauren.
Yes.
It's on eBay, and it's a
It's-
moldy sandwich.
Yes. They put it on there.
And it's going to get moldier.
It's in the freezer. Thank goodness.
Oh.
To be
They've
preserved.
stopped the molding process,
froze
but the
it.
mold is the 3 circles, the head and the 2 ears to look like Mickey Mouse.
Wow.
And they're selling it for $30,000, and half of the proceeds they're going to give away to charity to St. Jude's Children's Hospital.
That's
That's
all
nice.
that really is, if I may be cynical for a moment, is an attempt to stave off a cease and desist letter from the Disney people.
Oh.
Yeah, to make money
good
off of their own.
point.
Yeah.
product. That's actually
Yeah.
very true.
Is it?
Does Disney
Exactly.
donate to St. Jude's?
No, I don't know, but I think if somebody were to try to make money,
Money
off
off
Right.
of the
a-
image
Trademark.
of Disney. Yeah.
Trademark infringement.
Yeah, that's
how
true.
in the world can Disney make a living if other people are taking
their money.
potential money away?
That poor company.
know.
I know. It's really unfortunate. But yeah, it was supposed to be a joke. and they were like, "Oh, let's put it on eBay. This will be funny." And people are actually bidding.
Oh my gosh, that reminds me when eBay started, someone tried to sell their soul on eBay and actually sold it, I guess the concept of it or what.
How much did they get?
I honestly don't remember. I'll look it up.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. Well, Katie.
Yes, sir.
You don't have any kids that you know of, do you?
I have asked previous boyfriends, but so far I do not have any kids. But what I did find is that Ford has now created at least a mock-up of a crib that also helps your baby experience a car ride. So it's got a motor within the crib to rock it back and forth to mimic a car. And through an app, you can record the sound of your car's engine to play underneath the crib, so you don't have to waste any gas.
No carbon monoxide smell?
No, they might in the
wait a
newer
minute.
generations to emit the carbon monoxide.
Wait a minute. What about the electric cars? Those are real quiet.
Oh.
Well, that's not an option
Prius.
for getting your kid to fall asleep.
No, I would put them in the Prius.
Yeah, put them in the Prius.
Now, wait a minute. This
It's
crib,
not working.
the crib vibrates or it just makes the sound?
No, so the crib vibrates, the motion, that's the motor in it, and then you can, with your phone, you record your car's engine, and then you play it back through the crib to mimic the sound of your car. So it's a couple-step process.
To be your car, or can it just be any car?
I mean, I guess it could be any car, but
That's a lot of work.
it is. There's a lot of commitment
I would think
with
we'd
that.
want your car because it would probably work if you got into the car the next time around and a kid go, "Oh, I've been in here before."
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But then it would be like that jerking. Get out of the way!
Depends on how
That's
good
my
your
car.
driving is.
What kind of damage are we doing to kids when
You have to
later in
specifically-
life? No, I need a vibrating bed,
Oh, no.
right?
Oh, my
That's a
gosh.
path.
Vibrating technology.
What was that called in Vegas? That vibrating bed, magic
Magic
fingers.
fingers.
Magic fingers.
No.
Put $1 in, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Was it $1 or was it 4 quarters?
4 quarters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like you have that kind of change on you
Didn't
all
have
the
the
time.
Yeah.
build technology.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I wonder if the newer ones can take credit card.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you go on do you go ever on roller coasters? You a big roller coaster person?
I love roller coasters.
Yeah.
Personally.
I used to.
I used to be terrified of them.
Yeah.
Now I got over my fear.
No,
Did
you're not
you?
a baby
Yeah,
anymore.
I'm not a baby anymore.
Yeah, I had when I was about 18 or so, I had an issue and got in the hospital and all that, and I found out I had, among other things, an enlarged spleen, and so that was taken care of. But it does change size from time to time. And my doctor, I remember him telling me, don't ride roller coasters anymore. And I said, why is that, Doc? He said, your spleen might implode from the
goodness.
G-force, and
Oh my gosh.
if you can't get out of that roller coaster and into a hospital in like 10 minutes, you'll probably bleed out
No.
from
Oh
the
my gosh.
from the inside.
No.
No, so
Your doctor said this to you at 18.
no,
No Six Flags for you.
Yeah.
when I was 19. But he's reiterated that since, and that he told me. But another thing that I have, and this is Phil comes clean about his medical issues, is
segment.
Confession.
I have a propensity for kidney stones.
Ouch.
And about 5-6 years ago, maybe 7 years ago, I did pass one, but it was so painful. I was at work ready to go on the radio, and they actually had to throw me in the back of an ambulance and take me to the hospital and give me a whole bunch of morphine, and it was a fun ride for sure. But
For you.
the pain, they say, and I can only imagine that they may be correct, whoever they are, that the only thing more painful than a natural childbirth is passing a kidney stone of some size.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And,
That seems like a jump.
yeah, I don't know. But I could tell you it was pretty damn painful. But now
Childbirth is pretty painful.
I'm going to tie the two stories
to know.
together artfully and skillfully, like a surgeon.
Ooh.
Urological surgeons have discovered that folks that go on roller coaster rides are actually passing kidney stones while they're on the ride.
No.
I just hear like a sound of a pebble hitting a glass window.
Yeah, wouldn't it be great if they built a roller coaster, and underneath the roller coaster was this giant stainless steel pan?
Oh my gosh.
So every time one of those kidney stones went flying out, it just ding. You can hear
Oh my
it.
gosh.
Okay, wait. You'd have to be naked.
Yeah.
on the
Oh,
roller
How does it
coaster.
fly out?
It doesn't
How does
pass
it fly
through
out of your pants?
Well,
if
you know,
got underwear on.
Have
and
to
pants?
or get to.
Where's the
yeah.
fun?
Well, yeah, you know, some of
on
the
your tighty
some of the
whities.
young ladies these days hopping on roller coasters
Well.
in their short skirts and commando, right?
You know about that?
It's
Phil's just
For
down
sure.
there.
roller coaster
looking.
commando girl.
Okay, well, there was Naked Gardening Day the other day, so there could be Naked Roller
Did you
Coaster
participate
Day.
in that?
What?
I tried.
Did you trim? Did you trim a bush?
Oh,
Cut back the hedge?
what does that mean?
No, I just
Well,
got the
Phil.
weeds out. That's all I did. A lot of weeds.
So there is a study, by the way. And in this study, the urological surgeons, I don't know why, but they used 3D printers.
Oh,
No.
Yes.
What?
To, I don't know, to recreate.
a
Which part?
stone?
Yeah, maybe. And then, can you imagine these scientists after they get a couple $1 million from the government to study this, and then they're laughing, they're having a party. Let's spend the first $1 million on a party, and then they use the 3D printers and they make enormous kidney stones and they throw them around the office and knock over beakers, and that's like science fun.
My
Science
goodness.
fun.
I'm just wondering if all the people who are on the roller coasters that don't know they have kidney stones are actually being cured of kidney stones before they even go to the doctor.
How
for
often
kidney
are
stones.
people peeing while they're on roller coasters?
Oh,
you
you,
know,
never know.
wet myself a
You
little
must.
bit.
Yeah.
And especially if you have a kidney stone just up on deck and it just flies out.
Up on deck.
God, I mean, how else would you get that going?
Kidney stone on deck. You want to know what my? This is too much information. You know,
Do
you
it.
want to know what my
TMI?
urologist told me?
What?
That I have 2 kidney stones. They're not necessarily on deck, but he said they're so far up in there, which is the medical term.
Up in
Scientific.
there.
Yeah.
And there.
That it'll probably be my entire lifetime before they make their way down and out.
Wow.
So I don't
wow.
necessarily
Will you have a party when they come out?
don't have to worry about them. Yeah, well, if I'm
A
that
coming out
old,
party?
Yeah.
Coming out party.
I mean, if I'm like 98 years old and 2 of those suckers come down the highway,
You better have a party.
I'm probably going to die.
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Why don't you just jump up and down?
Go on a roller coaster.
Go on a roller coaster.
Let 'em shoot out.
Yeah.
There's an idea. Then
But
my
the
spleen will
spleen-
implode
the
and I'll
spleen.
Oh, the
bleed out
spleen.
Yeah.
and I'll die.
Yeah.
Oh.
And there won't be a show anymore.
There'll be a show for other people.
Oh, you know what? By the way, I had a nice show last night. I got to sit down with Jamie Wilson. You know who that is? Jamie owns the. Well, he more or less has ownership or proprietorship of the property where the studio is here in the Los Angeles Harbor. But he's also the guy that runs the joint next door, the Port Sacal Waterfront Dining. It's just a spectacular restaurant. We sat down and had some drinks and some hors d'oeuvres and had a great time. And they have just the most spectacular food over there. The bar is famous because it's in movies.
Nice.
Because it's right there, and every seat in this restaurant has a view of the Los Angeles Harbor.
Oh.
It's exquisite. It is lovely, and they have. We're in an area of Southern California called the South Bay, and they've won all kinds of awards, including the South Bay's best champagne brunch.
Oh. Girl.
Happy hour every weekday from 3 to 8. And if you want more information about Port Sacal Waterfront Dining, you should come check it out. Go to portsocaldining.com or call 310-833-3553. All right?
Yummy.
I love a
And
champagne
say hello.
brunch.
Tell Jamie that Phil Hulett and Friends sent you over there, and who knows what
Heck
he
yeah.
might give you free Doritos or something.
Ooh. A Dorito?
Doritos.
Dorito
Free
brunch.
water.
Oh.